Ladies and gentlemen, we are live once again for another edition of NASCAR Chase for the Cup 2005. It is the third race of our 23 race custom schedule season for the Craftsman Truck Series. The third trip of the year heads to the Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Easy Care 200 here for this afternoon race on this Saturday night. Happy New Year to all of you guys. I mean, that's simple. Out with 2021, in with 2022, and we're going to get this year kicked off with a bang. So, there's obviously, when the new year comes around, people like to state what their New Year's revolution, New Year's resolution is going to be. And I never really get into that. I never really get into making goals for myself in 2021 because I always feel like that's almost like a procrastination of just waiting until the end of the calendar year to do something that you've wanted to do for a little while. One of those things for me was trying to get back into working out, and I just started doing that about 4 weeks ago. Why wait till 2021? Let's get it done as soon as possible. And one thing that I will say is I will have a New Year's resolution this year, and it's not completely in my control, but obviously it is something that I would love to see. I'm sure you guys would love to see. And that is this channel taking new places on the road and many other things still to come in 2022. I don't want to spoil too much or get ahead of myself because maybe I might not live up to certain expectations. But there is one thing that we are going to strive for. We just hit 1,000 subscribers a couple months ago, and we've been growing ever since. What's to say that we can't hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of 2022? Better yet, let's try to go up on that. Let's go to the next major milestone that has a 1 and a 0 in it, and that is going to be 10,000. Now, I might be talking out of my not comfort zone, but might be talking out of my rear a little bit. But let's try to get this channel to 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2022. The things that I have planned in my head for ideas that I will try, I will not try, I will have them happen, especially live at the track videos. Well, not live stream videos, but videos at the racetrack. I plan on doing a lot more videos at the track than just the race highlight videos. Race highlight videos, they will still be here. I do like to show you guys from the grandstands what a grandstand view would look like, or what my view looked like throughout the course of the races that I went to. We will still be doing that, but there will be other video ideas, other videos that I will do throughout the course of the season, and other stuff on the channel, NASCAR video wise. So we're only going to expand this thing more and more. Appreciate the support that you guys have given me so far, especially in the year 2021. We had over 900 subscribers in the calendar year of 2021 alone, and a lot more watch time. On top of that, we had some streams that just absolutely took off. The Talladega commentary stream that we did for the Cup Series really took off. I think that ended up having like 18,000 subscribers or 17,000 subscribers in less than 24 hours. It's extremely astonishing. The Xfinity Series Championship race hit a few thousand, not subscribers, viewers, and it's great. But let's try to do 10,000. Let's try to get it done. So like, share, and subscribe if you are new to the channel. I don't have the analytics on me right now. Last time I checked, about 79% of people that watch the videos or watch the streams on the channel within the last 30 days are not subscribed. So definitely subscribe. If we could just get every new viewer that is a NASCAR fan especially to subscribe to this channel, I think that we are definitely going to go major places in 2022. It is the start of a new year today. It is January 1, and by December 31st, 2022, we'll see if we can get it done. Without further ado, let's get into tonight's race, the Easy Care 200 at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. No qualifying, no practice for the second straight race for our driver, Bobby Hamilton Sr. Of course, you guys voted for me to race as Bobby Hamilton Sr. for this season. Let's see if we can get it done. Patrick Chatterley, welcome into the stream. First down into the chat below. He's pumped about 2022, and he's got his reasonable and possible achievable expectations. We'll see if we can get it done. Really slow start for Bobby Hamilton Sr. on the opening lap. 2 and 3 wide through most of the pack as one truck almost gets into the outside wall off the exit of turn 2. Bill Lester, qualified on the pole for today's race, leads the field all the way through the opening lap. And Bill Lester will lead lap 1 at Atlanta. Oh, contact off the exit of turn 4. Truck that almost got into the wall off the exit of turn 2 did get into the wall off turn 4. And a lot of 3x3 racing down into turns 1 and 2 the following lap. A lot of lane changing going on. Going to have to be careful. Saw a lot of cautions in last night's race at Watkins Glen. 7 of them in just a 75-lap race. And in each of the first 2 races this season, we've seen a caution in the final 8 laps. Last night at Watkins Glen with 6 to go, setting up a green-white checker with 2 laps left in the race. And we also ended up seeing a caution late at Daytona, which set up a restart with about 5 laps to go. Underneath Wesley Schmidt, Bobby Hamilton's got to be careful. He's getting crowded down the back stretch into turn 3. Schmidt hanging on the right rear quarter panel of Bobby Hamilton Sr. nearly turns him completely head-on into the wall. Luckily, Hamilton, although he brushed the wall, was very lightly. Not as light as he can hit the wall in the center of the corner, at least. Hamilton drives it deep into turn 3, really wants to get around Schmidt, finally clears him this time around. Matt Crafton, who had a top 5 last night at Watkins Glen, had a chance to win it, going from 4th to 2nd on that final restart. Ended up losing a spot on the final lap. Relegating into a 3rd place finish, big stack up into turn 1, and Hamilton makes contact with the truck in front of him. Schmidt's going to get right back around. I don't know what that was all about. That was very strange. I didn't see any sort of sparks flying or any smoke like somebody had made contact with one another. It's all it takes on these starts and restarts of a race is one truck to get sideways in this giant pack. And calamity will arise. Tripping up over my words right now. Not a good way to start the year, but 6 laps into this race. This is very short, only 200 miles. Obviously, most of the Truck Series races are within 200 to 300 miles. 130 laps here today at Atlanta. It's going to be anywhere between a 1 to 2 stop race today. And we'll see if they can make it far enough into the run. If they can go 65 laps to cut this race in half, then it will be a one-stopper. Of course, this Atlanta surface not nearly as old as what you would have seen if you watched NASCAR in 2021 or within the last few years. Asher G, welcome to the stream. Happy New Year to you as well. So Casey Cook and Bobby Hamilton Sr. were the 2 winners in the first 2 races this season. Hamilton, though, has only led 12 laps combined between the first 2 races, despite getting the win at Watkins Glen. Yesterday, he led only 8 laps. He led 4 at Daytona. I had to go back and check just to make sure. I was thinking I led more at Daytona, but I did not. And that 18th place finish there. So still trying to make that march to the top of the points standings after that rough start. The win was a good stepping stone in the right direction. Nearly a crash into turn 1. The 152 truck of Bob Spear gets clipped into the outside wall off the front bumper of another race truck, stacking everybody up, and Hamilton guns it to the inside. He's able to miss everyone. That's an easy way to jump up about 13 positions. Now to 23rd on the racetrack. As Bill Lester continues to lead. He's led the first 9 completed laps. Michael Turner, welcome on into the stream as well. Definitely hit that like button if you haven't already. Had as many 7 people watching. Early going of the race today. I know we haven't had a lot of viewers between last night and the start of this stream so far. I get it, it is the holidays. And now there's more smoke off the exit of turn 4. I wonder if that might have been a stack up even behind what there was into turn 1. I don't believe that's where the contact had actually started, but maybe it was. Might have been two separate incidents on the same straightaway. I don't know if Hamilton's really got a lot of speed in this truck today. Not really closing all that fast on the trucks ahead of him. It's good that he got by that huge pack that got stacked up into turn one a couple laps ago. If you look on the upper right-hand corner of the screen where the track map is, Bill Lester's just absolutely pulling away. Adam Bell in the 123 truck on the outside. Hamilton will make the clean pass through 3 and 4 and clear him at the start-finish line. Cap 24, welcome to the stream. First message you've said in 2022. And I'm sure there will be many more. Yes, and go pit stop. Hamilton just ran his fastest lap of the race, 30.147 that last time by. Scott Bush in the 56 truck is the next one ahead. And we got our first bot of 2022 as well, so there we go. Par for the course as of the last couple weeks for some reason. I think that pack further back in the field got stacked up again the last lap because they seem to have lost even more ground than what they already had lost. Hamilton getting squeezed. Makes his way inside the top 20. He's going to clear the 106 truck of Richards now off the exit of turn 2, and he's up to 19th. Bill Lester looks like the driver to beat in this one. He did win at Atlanta in our actual 2004 scheduled season the first time around on NASCAR Chase for the Cup 2005, so I guess it's no shocker that Lester seems to be really good at Atlanta in this game. At the exit of turn 2, trying to get around another generated driver. Chad Chafin, teammate of Bobby Hamilton Sr., of course, the team owned by Bobby Hamilton himself. Another truck in the wall off turn 4, out of the rear view of the 4. It has been that kind of a season so far where restarts have been absolutely insane. We've seen a lot of cautions. Caution free through 17 laps so far today, but far from calm as far as the race goes in the early going. Chafin was pinching Hamilton down. He was not making that pass easy for his boss, but he was able to make the pass nonetheless. And now inside the top 15, but still about 4.5 seconds off the lead. The interval has pretty much stayed between 4.5 to 4.8 seconds, really ever since the start of the race, once Hamilton got around those 13 drivers that stacked up off of turn 4, or more so into turn 1. A handful of laps in. And a lot of that could be Bill Lester just having clean air. Hamilton's having to pass other race trucks. We'll have to see. Again, we don't know exactly what the pit window is going to look like. Lester did lead a lot of laps at Daytona. In fact, he led the most laps in that race to start the season, but he ended up falling back to an 8th place finish and wasn't really in contention for most of the finish of that race. That first caution really did him in. He had a bad restart, and he was never able to lead another lap in those final 30 laps, despite dominating the first half of the 100-lap event. Dark Crypto, welcome to the stream. 2022 is upon us. Yes, it is. I did not have a good end to 2021 last night watching my Michigan Wolverines get absolutely... I don't even know what to say word-wise. to describe their beatdown. Them getting beat down by Georgia. Somebody said in the chat yesterday that Michigan was going to lose 45-0, and I was like, well, I hope it's closer than that, as long as they play competitive. I didn't expect them to go out there and win the game. I was trying to keep my expectations low, but early in the second half, when it seemed like we had the defense made like 3 stops in a row, but in return, our offense turned the ball over on 3 straight series. We just couldn't get any momentum whatsoever. It was hard to watch. We had so much winning this year, and I forgot that what losing felt like as a Michigan fan, and had a quick snap back to reality in a matter of a night. You have to assume that 2-week break in between the game last night and then the Big Ten championship had to have hurt, but every one of the playoff teams have to go through that, so it's not like it was just Michigan, because they had so much momentum. I mean, they didn't whoop on Ohio State. It was a close game until the second half of the fourth quarter, and they pulled away. But then they just, between the end of the Ohio State game, they played really, really well. Probably their best football all season. Then they played really, really well against Iowa, and that was probably the best game from start to finish they played all year. And it was against another ranked team. One car down on the apron of the racetrack on the back straightaway, and that is the first driver to blow an engine in tonight's race. Rest in peace, yes. Rest in peace, Michigan Wolverines football. A lot of bump drafting going on accidentally off the exit of turn 4 between Carl Edwards and Bobby Hamilton Sr. Edwards finished runner-up at Watkins Glen. Of course, we won the championship with him in that first Truck Series season, so he may be a big threat for the championship again this year, starting off pretty strong. He led the most laps at Watkins Glen, 27 of the 75 laps led for himself in that race, and the driver who blew an engine the lap before did make his way into the pits, so he continued to stay green and still caution-free in the early going at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. 3 wide down the front stretch into turn 1. Carl Edwards stuck in the middle. Hamilton makes the gutsy move down to the bottom. Plenty of room to clear both trucks to the outside off turn 2. And as they merge their way down the backstretch, Hamilton is up to a race-high 9th place position. And he's got a lot of spots up for grabs in front of him, excluding race leader Bill Lester, who is still 4.5 to 4.6 seconds ahead. So again, Hamilton is passing cars on the racetrack, and he is gaining positions, but he is not cutting into that lead on Bill Lester. Lester's just pulling away right now. All it takes is one caution to bunch everything back together, though. Hamilton not worried about it the way the season's gone so far. I think we'll see a caution at some point. Gets underneath Jack Baker. There's our Daytona winner, Casey Cook, running in the 6th place position early on. Hamilton passes 2 trucks in turns 3 and 4, up to 7th place. Dives underneath Cook. Hamilton's really gripping the bottom very, very well. Another pass made for the Ford truck. Might take him the full race to get up to Lester. Obviously, we don't know what the long run speed's going to look like in comparison with the 4 and the 22 truck, with only being 29 laps into the race. "13 people watching right now, only 3 likes. Smash the like button down below. Again, subscribe if you are new to the channel as well. We got daily NASCAR content. We will have a lot more content coming out here in the next couple weeks now that the holidays are over. As meanwhile, down on the bottom of the racetrack, we have our second driver to blow an engine in the first 29 laps of the race. Atlanta, the fastest mile and a half on the circuit. And speaking of the fastest mile and a half on the circuit, Bobby Hamilton was the fastest he has been all race long that last lap. Ran a 30.068. I wonder if we're going to see lap times of the 29s, which would be ridiculously fast for the Truck Series. Those are like Cup Series level times. Well, maybe not in this game, but with the 550 package. Lucky to run a 29-second lap time. Guys are hauling out here today. Or should I say they're trucking out here. Travis Quaffel's had a pretty good start to the year. He finished second in the point standings. He was the closest competitor to our driver in the last season, Carl Edwards, for that Truck Series Championship. Two less races on this custom schedule season compared to the actual 25 race schedule that we had in season 1. Still a season-long championship, same points format, but 2 races less. Maybe putting a little bit more pressure on not wanting to have a bad finish, knowing you have 2 less races to try and make that kind of time back up. 4 trucks under blanket, 2nd through 5th. Nobody's passed anybody for the last couple laps, so Witt has been all over the back bumper of the 2nd place truck. Can't tell who it is. Quaffle trying to pinch Hamilton off the exit of turn 2. Quaffle got a really good run down the backstretch and nearly gets to the 38. And a bit of contact in the middle of 3 and 4 between Hamilton and Quaffle. Contact slowing them both down a bit, but Hamilton will make the pass. Witt slides up a bit in the middle of turns 1 and 2, and Hamilton drives underneath him. That's Ryan Carter in 2nd place. Generated driver in the 64 truck. Hamilton really flat into turn 3. Clears Witt. Witt going very wide in the middle of the corner, and Travis Quaffle will get underneath them off turn 4, and they're side by side for 4th place. Hamilton looking for 2nd on Carter into turn 1. Both trucks using the middle lane. Hamilton's going to try to get that undercut off the exit of the corner as he closes in. Quaffle has cleared Brandon Witt now for 4th place. Side by side for 2nd into turn 3. Hamilton hooks the white line. He's got the advantage on the bottom. He is clear. Still 4.2 to 4.3 seconds off of race leader Bill Lester, who has not had any lap traffic yet. Still caution-free through 35 laps as we have 95 laps to go already at the Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Easy Care 200. And Quaffle's making the charge as well, just following Hamilton's line, and he's up to 3rd place. And closes in immensely. And Quaffle is putting a lot of pressure right now on Bobby Hamilton for 2nd place. Nearly gets under him off the exit of turn 4. Hamilton going to run very low and try to block down the front stretch. Hamilton still running lap times on the 30.1 second lap barrier area. And this should be just a 1 pit stop race today, considering how far they've gone and still not halfway on fuel yet. Again, the Truck Series fuel tanks are a lot larger than the Busch or the Cup Series in this game. So a lot of the pit stops this season are likely only going to be 1-stoppers, or a lot of the races will be 1-stoppers. We will have some 2-stop strategies mixed in there. We had 2 stops at Watkins Glen. Probably could have had the whole field make 2 pit stops. Hamilton short pitted early, but there were so many cautions. Then we had, 22 laps under caution in a 75-lap race. That, you know what, though? By Truck Series standards, I think that makes sense. In 2021, at least. This is 2004. Maybe it was like that in 2004 also. I really don't know. I watched a lot of NASCAR when I was younger, just as much as what I would now, but I probably watch more now considering I watch more of all 3 series. When I was younger, I didn't really watch a lot of the Truck Series or the Busch Series because if they were running prime time on like a Friday night, for instance, I usually didn't watch it. Hamilton and Quaffle are pulling away from both Ryan Carter and Brandon Witt. And And they're slowly, and I mean slowly, catching Bill Lester. It's going to be a matter of how the pit stop is going to work itself out. I don't think you want a short pit, considering the cautions we have seen this season, until those trends start to die down a bit. We start having a lot cleaner races. Speaking of clean, Bobby Hamilton Sr.'s last lap was very clean. 30.031, again his fastest lap of the race, and that was 40 laps into this tire stead. Thing is, though, he's not really pulling away from Travis Quaffle at all. Quaffle's still within a few truck lengths. And he's still barely closing in on Bill Lester, so Lester's definitely running some similar lap times to both the 4 and the 24. Going to alternate through the different camera angles for the first time in this race today. I'll be at the Detroit Red Wings Boston Bruins hockey game tomorrow afternoon, so our stream tomorrow will be in the evening. I know we've been doing a lot of Sunday afternoon races during the actual NASCAR offseason so far, but this week will be an exception because I will be out of state until I'll probably be back about 5 o'clock, 5:30 roughly. And we will go live at 6 p.m. tomorrow. Cars, welcome to the stream. Ran a 30.130 that last lap. Hamilton was only 1/10 of a second quicker than Bill Lester. Hamilton hasn't really made a mistake all day long. The fact that he was able to charge from last to second place in the first 45 laps pretty impressive. But he's still got a little bit of a ways to go if he's going to catch Lester. Lester has led every lap so far, and I would not be surprised if he goes on to lead the most, considering this is only 130 laps. If he leads the next 20, he would already clinch the most laps led, leading half the race, which would be the second race already that Bill Lester will have led the most laps in a race this season, but he's still searching for that first win. Hamilton slides. He overdrove turn 1. Up the hill he goes. And I'm surprised Travis Quaffle didn't have a bigger run than what he probably should have. Thought he might have had a chance to get underneath Hamilton. Must not have got through that corner very well himself. Or maybe he checked up thinking the Ford truck was going to spin out. He overdrove it and it got loose, but it wasn't that loose. This truck's been very good in handling. And obviously it's got some good speed. It's got top 5 speed. I just don't know if it's got race-winning speed considering how good Bill Lester is on the short run. And knowing that we will have at least one more short run in this race with a pit stop, Hamilton's going to have to try to find a way to gain some time. Back at Daytona, that was only a one-stop race as well. At the time, there was 3 trucks within a couple seconds of each other. It was Bill Lester, Bobby Hamilton Sr., and Brandon Witt, with Sr. and Witt working together in the draft, kind of tandeming their way towards the front of the field. Towards the front of the field, to the front of the field, excluding the race lead. Bill Lester was able to pull ahead early in the going, and he had such a big lead to fall back on. And he really was not phased whatsoever. Crossing the line at lap 50. 80 laps to go this time by. Hamilton had a fast stop in that Daytona race, but Bill Lester somehow had an even faster stop. You'd have to consider the laps that Lester has led already in this season, that he has to be the championship favorite. I know we're only 3 races in. He's just got to be able to finish a little bit better than what he has. And Daytona's an outlier, of course, because anything can happen. He's still got the top 10. But when you lead over half the laps in a race, an 8th place finish is usually a little bit deteriorating. Hamilton slowly pulling away from Quaffle. Probably got close to about 1 second on him. Though he's still 2.9 seconds behind Bill Lester. Well, 30.064 that last lap. Hamilton's still running very fast lap times for being pretty late in the tire stint. That right front tire is actually in the yellow as well. Even on long run speed, Lester's got really good pace. He's just not quite as good as what he is on the run when he was pulling away. Hamilton's definitely got the long run speed of the two. But Lester's long run speed is not bad by any means. And Quaffle, as these laps continue to tick on, is only losing both Lester and Hamilton more and more. And they're getting smaller and smaller out of his windshield. Lester still has not caught lap traffic, but he is not too far away from it. I bet within the next couple laps he should get to his first lap truck of the night. 2.6 seconds now. This is as close as Hamilton's been to the lead all race long. And he continues to close. Lester's got about 3 lap trucks right in front of him down the back straightaway. Leads down to 2.5 seconds as Hamilton was 1/10 of a second quicker than Lester that last lap again. And we'll have to pay attention to the interval now. Lester's trying to make a pass on his first lap truck. Looks like he'll clear him off the exit of turn 4. He's got 2 more to go. And about 0.2 of a second quicker that last lap for Hamilton. Still running 30 O's. As Lester is working in lap traffic, but Hamilton will have to get around those same lap cars as well once he gets there. And Lester will have a little bit of a gap before he catches any more lap trucks once he gets around those 3. In 2 laps, though, Hamilton looks like he's going to close a 0.5 second. So those lap trucks are definitely not cutting Bill Lester any slack. Quarter tank of fuel left for Bill Lester. Well, I should say the field, really. .7 back. There's that 0.8 of a second gained in 3 laps. Again, the lap trucks are not making it easy on Bill Lester. That last lap for Bobby Hamilton Sr. was only 3/1000ths of a second slower than his fastest lap of the race. And now it's a 1.3 second lead at the start-finish line. I think even just the loss of the clean air is really hurting Lester. Hamilton is catching these trucks, though. He's going to have to get around them much quicker than Lester did. I just realized Hamilton ran the same identical lap time 2 laps in a row, 30.031. But if he's putting laps like that together... Wow, 29.965 that last lap. And I think some of it was because he caught the draft of the lap car off the exit of turn 4 down the front stretch. Now he's got to pass the lap trucks as quickly as possible. He's got Wesley Schmidt to his outside. Hooking the white line into the corner, contact! Hamilton's in the wall! Around he goes! Mark Handel into the side of him as well. Caution's out for the first time today. Hamilton overdrove the race truck. First time he had caught lap traffic all day long. Hadn't really seen a car in front of him, or a truck in front of him in a while, so he hadn't really dealt with the dirty air on old tires in this race. And the truck just kind of jumped up the track a little more than he anticipated. A lap after running his fastest of the day, caution's out, the field will pit. Wow. That's a heartbreaker for Hamilton. And hopefully he does not have a lot of speed wrecked out of the race car. Again, you would hope. I think it just gave us a lap lead, though, under the caution. We got some drivers staying out of the pits, and I'm almost wondering if there might have been trucks on pit road when the caution waved. We were right about at the halfway mark before we saw that first yellow, and not a great stop by Hamilton. It looks like he's going to come out in about 3rd place, but also not a great stop for Bill Lester, who loses even more spots in the pit lane. Those are lap trucks on the inside, green flag back in the air. And not a great restart for Hamilton, and hopefully it's not because of the damage. So he tries to block Lester. The lap cars are going to hold up the leaders. Travis Quaffle gunning it up the inside. Nearly drives into the side of the Ford truck. Quaffle, Lester inside of Hamilton. Brandon Witt to the lead on the restart. 3 wide nearly off the exit of turn 4 with the lap trucks right around the race leaders. Hamilton trying to cross over Lester to the inside into turn 1. Everybody can make it on fuel to the end of the race. Look at this. This is a mess right now. 3 wide. 3 by 3 down the backstretch. Into turn 3. Hamilton gets into Lester. They're 4 wide, nearly in the middle of the corner. Luckily, Handel merged. Handel's arrival, luckily, Baker was right in the middle of them. And Travis Quaffel's just going to go up there and take the lead away from Witt. No problem. Quaffle to the lead for the first time today. Lester is passed. Lester did not want to see that caution, but neither did Hamilton. It just gave so many other drivers a chance, and obviously Hamilton's got some damage. And he does not want Quaffle to get away at the front of the field. Quaffle nearly gets into the wall. Big block down the backstretch. And Chad Chafin's going to jump up to 3rd. Lester's all the way on the apron, and he is going to lose a ton of positions. Having to make him save himself on a bad block from Bobby Hamilton Sr. and trying to hold the 22 truck behind him. And the fastest driver in the field is potentially now outside the top 10. Story of Lester's season so far. You know, it's only race 3. That has been the case, where he leads a lot of laps. I'm sure he'll lead the most today, considering he was only 7 laps shy of the halfway mark on lap sled before the caution waved. Hamilton back to 3rd as he gets around his teammate Chafin. Witt's still on the back bumper of the 24 truck of Quaffle. after losing the lead, so Quaffel's not really pulling away from him. $60 to go. Elliott is crazy. Happy New Year to you. I don't think we're going to be seeing Hamilton run in the 29.9s once again. I just don't think there's any way. Oh, truck hard in the wall. Race leader Travis Quaffel. And Hamilton's going to take the lead off of turn 2 as Witt checked up behind him. A vicious hit into the outside wall with no safer barrier for the 24 of Quaffel. How did that happen? Hamilton leads his first green flag lap of the race as he tries to block Witt into turn 1. That's about as hard as I've seen a truck hit the wall in a long time, especially the race leader all by himself. And I don't know if the 38 tagged him at all. And here comes Witt now to the inside to take away from Hamilton. Was lacking a little bit of speed with some damage, though. Hamilton crosses him over. So first 2 races of the year, we finished 18th at Daytona, led 4 laps, and we led 8 laps at Watkins Glen, and we ended up getting the win. So far today, only 2 laps when Hamilton gets back to the start-finish line. That time by with the lead. Chafin is closed in. I have no clue where Quaffel's at. He's probably got a lot of damage after that hit in the wall. No caution came out, though. Again, we stay green. Still leaving just the 1 yellow so far, though we have seen in the first 2 races, late cautions have come out in both, with 8 to go and with 6 to go. One of which set up the green-white checker, which was at Watkins Glen. Hamilton leads another lap. He's not going to be able to lead the most laps today. Both the 38 and the 4 have led. Witt's going to clear Hamilton off the exit of turn 2. Chafin now on the inside of his teammate Bobby Hamilton Sr. Hamilton. Pinched by the 38. Up the track goes Witt. And Chad Chafin's going to take the lead on the inside. He'll get 5 bonus points leading his first lap of the day. A very bad block by Brandon Witt. Barely clear off turn 2. Hamilton on his teammate Chafin. These two, you would think, are going to race each other pretty clean, but they will race hard. Hamilton up the hill again. Great battle for the lead between these 3. It's going to allow more trucks to close in, you would think. Remember, Lester's got the fastest truck in the field. I mean, he led every lap up until that first caution, just shy of the halfway mark. He still had about a 1.2 second lead when the caution waved. He was as far ahead as about 4.6 seconds. Chafin is all clear. Hamilton trying to shake his way around him into turn 1, drives it in deep. Maybe a little too deep, slides up, side drafts the 18. Hamilton with the advantage on the bottom into 3. All clear. Crossover by Chafin. Now he's on the left rear corner panel of Bobby Hamilton, and Brandon Witt is all over the back of both trucks again. Hamilton trying to squeeze Chafin. The last second, he's going to try to side draft that right rear corner panel now. Hamilton still there. barely drops in line. Seen a lot of classic finishes at Atlanta in the early 2000s. We haven't seen this close of a battle for the lead all day long until now. But it is very racy with the top three. Can we see a classic Atlanta finish today? Chafin sends it into three. There was no chance for Hamilton to get his truck to the bottom quick enough. And we're seeing with this fast racetrack how much the draft is playing of importance down the straightaways. Slight bobble into one by Hamilton will cost him the lead again. Billy Kramer, welcome to the stream and Happy New Year. The 48 laps to go this time by. Hamilton again to the bottom. Got a little sideways. Off to stay behind Chafin. Chafin is blocking him. And the two teammates racing hard. Chafin's got to be careful. He is really squeezing Hamilton for about 2 straight laps. Hamilton clear off turn 2. Gets back around Chafin. These two trucks have to be equal, considering their teammates. It's going to be hard to pull away from one another. Hamilton's going to try it. One truck very slow off the exit of turn 4 and will make his way into the pits. We got another bot in the chat. Somebody spamming something. I need to try to get to like YouTube support and try to figure out why I've been getting a lot of bots the last couple weeks in the chat. It's been nearly every night the last 3 weeks. Oh, Chafin just smacked the wall off the exit of turn 4. Thanks, Patrick. Chafin hit the wall, but he didn't really fall back too much. Maybe a truck length or two. He's not falling out of the draft. These two are drafting away, though, from Brandon Witt. One to look out for has to be Bill Lester. Maybe Quaffle if he can get back up here. But Quaffle's got to have some damage after crushing the wall while leading off of turn 2. It didn't bring out a yellow, but he lost a bunch of positions and a lot of seconds on the race leaders. And that's what gave Bobby Hamilton Sr. his first lead of the day. Right around lap 75. Might have been a couple laps before. But it was right around that time. Chafin down low. Look at Hamilton trying to throw a block on his teammate. It was a clean one. Chafin might have gotten out of the gas to let him in. These guys still have to know that there is 41 laps to go this time by yet. Which means we still got about 20 minutes left of this race. If it stays green. Longer, obviously, the caution waves. You don't want to let somebody else try to win this. They would like to finish 1-2 and settle it between themselves. Not only to keep other drivers out of it, but especially because they are teammates. Of course, we want to finish 1-2 in the point standings if at all possible. Chafin trying the outside in turns 1 and 2. This may give him a run down the back straightaway. We'll see. Not enough to at least make a pass into turn 3. That outside line not quite there yet at Atlanta. Give it a few more years and you'll be seeing some multi-groove racing at this racetrack. 30.027 that last lap. That had to have been one of the quickest laps Hamilton has ran since the caution. Oh, yeah, that's right. The Winter Classic. January 1st. Where are they playing at this year? Stadium-wise. Of course, your local team is playing, so that's pretty cool. I've seen the Red Wings play a couple of Winter Classics. That would have been awesome to go to the Big House to watch that game a few years ago when they played at the University of Michigan against the Toronto Maple Leafs. That was a good game. I think it ended in a shootout. Toronto won, but very close game, 5-4. Can't remember what year that was. I think it was like 2015, 16, 17, somewhere around there. Some smoke off the exit of turn 2, and I'm thinking somebody else might have hit the wall recently. Again, no caution for that as we continue to stay green with 36 to go this time by. Hamilton's getting a lot of laps led in now, but he's still less than 20 laps led. Chafin nearly gets to the left rear corner panel, but again, not quite. You wonder if Chafin is just kind of taking now. Cody, welcome to the stream. Oh, bot number 3. Over under on 4.5 bots tonight. Ridiculous. You guys will have to let me know down in the chat, but is this happening under any other YouTubers' live streams recently? I haven't really... I couldn't even tell you when the last live stream I've been in. Usually not in the chat a whole lot. Anyway, but I couldn't really tell you when the last time it was. I usually watch the NASCAR Weekly podcast every week, but I don't always catch it live because sometimes we're streaming the same night at the same time. But I'll go back and watch it again the next day. So it's 2-truck breakaway for now. Don't forget, we have seen a caution the final 8 laps in each of the first 2 races of the season. By those terms, we could see another yellow here tonight. Cautions have been breeding cautions a lot this season as well. And we've only had one so far. They at least didn't breed each other back in the middle portion of the race when we saw the first yellow. Bots show up in other live streams. Okay, gotcha. So it's not just me. I'm glad it's not just me. That would have been a little scary, honestly. Yep, 1 month closer to NASCAR, indeed. We're only, 35 days away from the Clash already? That's insane. I think I got 5.5 weeks until I leave for Daytona. Let's go. I think Chafin's going to have a hard time trying to get around Bobby Hamilton Sr. I don't know who that is in third, but I've seen him back there for a little bit now, and I'm scared it may be Bill Lester. He got shuffled back in the pack on that restart. Restarts have really been his Achilles heel this season, costing him a chance to win at Daytona. He's going to have to get better at those if he's really going to want to compete for the championship. It is awesome, yeah. 30 laps to go at the line. Yeah, Rolex 24 is only in, what, like 3 or 4 weeks? My gosh. Chafin really close to the wall off the exit of turn 4. So halfway on fuel again. Fuel not an issue in this one. Great exit to turn 2 as Chafin beats Hamilton back to the throttle. And this might be his opportunity to get it around the Ford truck. He's been sitting behind him for a little while now. They've been right there, not falling away. He's clear off turn 4. New leader. Chad Chafin. About the 3rd time today that he has led some laps now. So his 2 teammates run 1-2. And Hamilton's going to have to try to make a pass now on the 18 truck. Maybe tough. These trucks are so equal, it's very difficult. They don't want to battle too much and bring somebody else back into this. Hamilton's definitely getting really tight, though, in line behind the 18. The 18's kind of running up towards the outside, trying to mimic the line of the 4, making it even harder for Hamilton. He's having to lift out of the gas more and more. His last 2 laps are both in the 33s. When he had the clean air, he was running 30-0s, 31s since the caution. Of course, his fastest lap was a 29.965. He only ran 1 lap in the 29.9s. It was about 0.6 of a second faster than his second fastest lap of the entire race, and some of that was because he caught the lap traffic, but hadn't quite caught him yet. Caught him down the straightaway, and he was able to draft quite a bit. Hamilton's going to need a little bit more turn in the racetrack. Problem is, we're not going to have another pit stop the rest of this race. There aren't that many trucks a lap down. So if we get a caution, I would imagine that the field will stay out. Good on just the 1 stopper with that caution coming out right at about the halfway mark. We'll alternate through the different camera angles one final time in today's race over about the next dozen laps. Will there be a chance for Hamilton to try and go back-to-back in the early going of the season, or will we see 3 different winners in the first 3 races? Chad Chafin trying to get his first of the year. Hasn't really been in contention to win a race until today. He's had some decent runs in the first 2 races. First time he's been up front, though, late in the going. He might have led some laps at Daytona, but I can't really remember. We had so many different leaders at the end of that race. So many drivers in contention with that late caution as well. Of course, it's Daytona after all. Really hoping to go to a race this year. Yeah, hopefully you can make it out. Always a blast. As many races as I go to, maybe I'll see you. Or you'll see me. You'd probably have to spot me. I have no clue what a lot of you guys look like. Yep, Fantasy League will be back again next season. Same rules apply. We'll have a regular season and a playoff champ. Of course, you got to beat me to have a chance to win those tickets. Inside Uranus won the regular season championship. You guys know him down in the chat. He's all over, really, and other comment section chats of the NASCAR youth community. I did win the playoff championship, though. I think I finished third in the regular season. I was top 3 like all year, and I was second going into the final race, but I think I fell back to third. Put up a fight. Hamilton just cannot get a run on Chafin. He's tucked right up underneath him, just can't get the turn in his race truck. Hello, Marilyn Manson. Welcome to the stream. Problem is if Hamilton starts to lift a little more to try and get the car to rotate, with him lifting more, he's not going to be able to keep this pressure on Chafin. He's basically just hoping that the 18 truck makes a mistake like Travis Quaffle did earlier. Where Quaffle had slapped the wall hard off turn 2. And obviously hoping that it stays green after the fact. Hamilton actually was the one that made a slight error as he, again, could not really get the car to turn getting into the corner. Still 2-car battle, 15 laps to go. Third place is still slowly closing in. Got to be a little bit over a second back still. Hamilton is a little scared that it could become a 3-truck battle, though you don't want to just wait to the last lap because you might not have that opportunity. And these guys might catch some lap trucks before the end of the race as well. That is always a possibility, and we saw how much it affected Lester. Hamilton was able to eat into that lead right before the caution, and ultimately it brought out the caution because Hamilton struggled in it as well. I'll say lap cars haven't really dictated the finish of a race so far this season. But today could be the first. Don't forget the trends, though, either, that we have seen a caution in each of the first 2 races this year in the final 8 laps. $12 to go. Well, Hamilton, if he can't get a run on him, he's just going to draft him down the straightaways to at least try to perhaps run a little bit faster to pull away from the truck in third, who continues to close the gap. Hamilton tried to lift a little bit more that time, but kind of telling the center of the corner, and Chapin slightly pulled him. Hamilton gets him back in the draft. Ten laps left. Quarter tank of gas left, but these guys are plenty good to the finish. That will not be an issue. It's two lap trucks running side by side, maybe a second or two ahead of the leaders. They got to be careful, though, because they might be slowing each other down quite considerably. Oh, Hamilton almost got to the inside of Chapin, but not quite. Got to give credit where credit's due to these two guys, that they have ran very clean with one another. Not battling as much as what they were at the beginning of the run because the tires are older and they're struggling for a little bit of grip. Most of that in being a little bit of a tight condition. Hamilton's trying to drive it in a bit harder. Tighten up the racetrack just a bit more. I think they're going to catch. 7 to go. Oh, up the track. Just really hoping that if he can keep this pressure on Chad Chapin, that Chapin will make a mistake like Travis Quaffle did. Bill Lester is coming, ladies and gentlemen. He has dominated the first half of the race. He has led the most laps. And third place is right there with 6 to go. Hamilton knows he wants to make a move. The lap trucks again, side by side, into turn 4. Lester not quite within the distance to make the pass yet. Chapin with a block down to the bottom, 5 to go. Oh, Chapin with a terrible block on his teammate Hamilton. Into the wall goes Chapin. Hamilton slows the race truck, but he is in the lead. Oh, no. Lester's up to second, and he's got to run down the backstretch. He's got the fastest truck in the field. He's going to dive bomb it to the inside of Hamilton for the lead. And Lester has ran down the Bobby Hamilton Sr. Race Team cars. And he'll lead with 4 to go, but he has not cleared Hamilton yet. Hamilton trying to side draft Hamilton. Hamilton's trying to side draft Lester. He's not trying to side draft himself. That wouldn't make any sense. Chapin is now tucked underneath the Ford truck. Hamilton trying to force Lester into a mistake. Up the track goes Lester. Nowhere to go. Chapin is there. He may get to the inside of Lester. 3 laps to go at Atlanta. They have not caught the lap trucks yet, but they're getting close. Lester goes up the track. A nudge. Lester holds on to the lead. Nowhere to go. Hamilton with a mistake into turn 3. Up the middle, 3 wide for the race lead. Off of turn 4 as Lester goes wide in the corner. And the teammates will get by to the inside. 2 to go. Couldn't even tell who led that lap. Lap trucks in the air on both racetracks. Wesley Schmidt, the 117 truck, is going to get in the way. Hamilton may get picked. Oh, and another mistake by Hamilton. Here comes Lester to the bottom. Thought about taking it 3 wide into the corner. He does. Oh, Hamilton's got nowhere to go. 4 wide off of turn 4. Lester's clear. White flag. 1 lap to go. Hamilton nudges him. Down the front stretch into turn 1. Trying to push the 22 wide. Forcing clear off of turn 2. Hamilton's out in front, trying to make the last lap pass for the win. Truck on the bottom has blown an engine, and Lester had to check up because of him. Chafin may get around him on the outside, and that will do it. Bobby Hamilton Sr. wins a thriller at Atlanta. Well, there we go. Back-to-back wins for Bobby Hamilton Sr. A late charge from Bill Lester, even leading a couple laps in that late charge, and the lap trucks getting in the way may have costed Lester a chance to win this race. And a smoke show on the front stretch, reminiscent of the thumbnail to the team tonight, with the Square D Ford truck headed to victory lane at Atlanta. What a set of races so far this season. I mean, this is just insane. 3 races, we've had 3 crazy finishes that have come down to the stretch. And that is now the second race to end with the last lap pass for the win. Daytona when Casey Cook got the victory. And now Bobby Hamilton with the last lap pass on Bill Lester. Lester dominated this race, but then he had to come back after having a bad restart. And Hamilton was able to hold him off with the late charge, even with Lester taking the lead because of the lap cars holding Lester up just enough. And by 1/1000th of a second, Bill Lester did finish in second place over Chad Chafin, so that will break up a potential 1-2 finish for the Bobby Hamilton Racing trucks. We'll take a look at your top finishers and more of the race statistics. 1 caution for 3 laps, 18 lead changes in this 130-lap race. There you see Lester again from the pole, leads the most laps, 64 of the 130 laps led today. 1 hour, 10 minutes total time on this race as well. Least amount of cautions we've had in a race so far this season, beating Daytona, which we had 3 cautions in that race. And it came out right about halfway. Average speed of 169.28 miles an hour. Chad Chafin actually led the second most laps today with 29 laps led, so Hamilton, the winner from last to first. He did lead 27, but it was the third most. Doug Thompson ends up finishing in 4th. He didn't lead a single lap. Highest running generated driver. Carl Edwards with back-to-back top 5s. 2nd at Watkins Glen last night, a 5th tonight at Atlanta. Ryan Carter finishes in 6th. Brandon Witt led 3 laps, finishes 7th. Matt Kraft at 8th. Jack Baker 9th, and Jack Sprague, after DNF at Watkins Glen, will round out the top 10. I think Baker led 2 laps, either under the caution or on that restart. I know he was up towards the front. And I think he won the race off of pit road, and then Witt got around him on the restart, and that's how those 2 were able to lead laps. Most of the lead changes were between the top 3 finishers in this one. And we'll look down. It's like we had 25 trucks finish on the lead lap, and only 4 trucks, had DNF'd. Hank Grigsby, Jake Bradley, Travis Quaffle, and Billy Wilson. Quaffle had 5 laps, but while leading, he cracked the wall hard off of turn 2. We didn't get a caution, and I think that might have knocked him out of the race. Eventually, he ended up blowing an engine. It wasn't the same lap, but you'd have to imagine that hard hit into the wall only made it for a ticking time bomb on that engine, especially with this being the fastest mile and a half on the circuit. And we did have 5 trucks at DNF because there was 1 truck at the very end off of turn 4 who was blowing smoke. So we did have 5 trucks DNF. I don't know who it would have been. Probably Larry Watson. No. Leslie Schmidt. Well, I mean, I'm assuming they probably finished the race considering he was literally on the apron of the track in 3 and 4. I don't know why he wouldn't have finished. Probably just coasted across the finish line. But that will wrap this one up today. And our next race on this custom schedule season will be at the California Speedway. That is a 2-mile track oval. It will be under the lights, 100 laps. The 2-mile racetracks are almost like super speedways, not only in this game, but for the truck series. And it always seems to be for the truck series whenever they head to Auto Club, now known as Auto Club. And I haven't raced there in a little while. But between that and Michigan, they always put on heck of a shows there. There's a lot of drafting that goes on, so kind of similar to what you saw at Atlanta, but I think it'll be a much bigger pack than what it was today, where you only saw about 2 or 3 trucks in contention there towards the end. That was pretty awesome. Yeah, that was a thrilling. All 3 races have been thrilling this year and have come down to the last lap. Watkins Glen was not a last lap pass for the win, but it was a green white checker. So we've had last lap pass for the win at Daytona. Casey Cook gets his first career win. Generated rookie driver pulls off the upset at Daytona. And he's had a great season so far because he ran top 10 most of the night tonight. He must have dropped some spots on that restart or something. Maybe couldn't get those spots back. I know he was in 6th when we passed him about 40, 45 laps into the race. And then we had a green-white checker finish at Watkins Glen. We were able to hold off Carl Edwards and Matt Crafton there at the end of the race. And then we had another last lap pass for the win today, only this time it's Bobby Hamilton Sr. getting the win, back-to-back for him, passing Bill Lester on the final lap. And I would not be surprised if we have a thrilling race at California Speedway, considering we have had great races at California and Michigan on this game, because the draft is going to be playing a major, major effect in that race. I can guarantee it. So that is going to settle the score here. Like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. I will see you guys in the next race tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Once again, California Speedway, the American Racing Wheels 200. And I will try to get a recording of NASCAR 21 Ignition Career Mode between tonight or tomorrow morning before I leave for the Red Wings game in the afternoon. So I will try to get a recording of that. I don't know if I'll get it edited in time to premiere tomorrow night. If I can't get it premiered tomorrow night, I'll probably premiere it on Monday as well as a live stream Monday. So we'll probably do a double header if I can't get the premiere out tomorrow. So again, I will see you guys tomorrow. Catch you next time. Happy New Year, everybody.